This video is for you if you have already learned about what nice guy is, what nice guy syndrome is. Maybe you've watched my content, other people's content, you've read the book, phenomenal book, but you're well versed in like, hey, I'm a nice guy, I have these people pleasing behaviors, these covert contracts, and I'm really ready to do something about it. Now, if you want more information about what nice guy syndrome is, I do have a video. I will link it above. Watch that first and then come back to this video because you do got to understand the systematic process of what's happening inside of your mind and body before you can actually do something about it. With that said, this video, we will be getting a little bit explicit, which I'm assuming is fine because we will be going there because actually inhabiting the totality of your body all the way down to your cock wisdom. We'll link another video above because I do have a lot of information just on that particular aspect of it. So what are these practical steps? I hear this personally a lot where people are like, I understand that I'm a nice guy. I still don't quite know what to do with it. Like, I'm on a date and I'm still a little bit uncomfy. I'm still a little bit underconfident. I still find myself doing these people pleasing behaviors, or I'm aware that I'm doing this nice guy behavior. I'm not sure how to stop it. So I have just sat for many minutes just now, came up with a ton of ideas. I have boiled it down into the three most practical, fastest moving like things you can do literally today, hard fast process that you can use to overcome nice guy syndrome in the quickest way possible. And the first one is that because your subconscious, okay, your subconscious is what's running the show behind the scenes. Your subconscious is about 95% of you. It's the feelings in your body that are generating the behaviors. And then it's that 5% logic part of you that's attaching a meaning to it. That's attaching a logic. Oh, I did that because of this. Oh, this sucks. And this is good and this is bad, right? That's a little 5% logic part of you. But your subconscious, which is running the show, will only believe what you take action on. So in that respect, you could listen all day to podcasts, which I'm sure you do because people that love inner work like me, we fucking listen to podcasts all day long and we fucking love it. We like get off on it. But you can listen to podcasts all day long. You could read books all day long. You could meditate all day long. But if you're not taking action on where you want to go, rearranging your identity to be not the nice guy and the guy of like actually who you truly are, because you're not truly a nice guy. It's a reaction from the past, right? We've learned this in our nice guy talks. But when you step into who you truly are, or rather, if you're not taking action on who you truly are, the behavior outside of nice guy syndrome, the expanded version of you, your subconscious will never believe you. It is not simply enough to learn. It is not simply enough to have a cognitive understanding. It is not simply enough to know all of the things and be able to describe it and talk to it, or rather talk about it with your therapist. Your subconscious will only believe what you take action on. So how do we turn this into a practical step? I invite you to, I was going to say you must do this, but I invite you to do this. Stop completely at all costs, okay? The more you stop this, the faster this will work. Stop at all costs doing anything. I don't care if it's with women, with work, with your penis, with sex, with masturbation, with flirting, with relationships, with opening up a dating app on your phone. Stop. Cold turkey. All behaviors that stem from the felt sense in your body that is neediness and desperation. Okay? Or anything affiliated in that umbrella of neediness and desperation. Now, again, as we've learned with nice guy syndrome, needs are not the problem. Of course you have needs. It's fucking great that you have needs. In fact, a man that has needs, who honors his needs and can bring it forth with integrity and presence is fucking hot. Like I want to melt right now thinking about it. Needs are not the problem. It's the neediness that comes across as not good, we'll say, for a woman. It's the desperation. Why? Because neediness and desperation is a reaction to an unconscious pattern, most likely with your mother. Not across the board, most likely with your mother. And we're going to talk about some inner work that you can do. I don't know, step number 2, I think, or maybe number 3. So stop all behaviors attached to neediness and desperation. And this is how you're going to know. There's only two types of feelings in the entire world. I'm going to break it down for you really, really simple, because I know men are not usually very feeling-based creatures. More so, women are very feeling-based creatures. There are only two types of feelings. There is expansive feelings. This is like openness. This is where all parts of you are on board. This is inspiration. This is empowerment. This feels light and good and expansive in the body. And then there's the other type of feeling, which is contractive. It's a closing feeling. It's a reaction. When anybody is in a contractive feeling state, their neurology goes into two things. It goes into, I don't want that. Let me run away from it. How do I self-preserve, self-protect as quickly as possible? Let me run away from pain and toward pleasure as quickly as possible. And when you only see those two options from a reactionary state to neediness and desperation, you will never get to where you want to be because you're running from what you don't want. Okay? I'm going to say that again because it's really important. If you are constantly running from neediness and desperation, meaning neediness, desperation comes up in your body, you don't know what the fuck to do with that feeling, you don't like that feeling, your neurology is going to constrict, and the options, the choices that you see will not be anywhere close to who it is that you're becoming. They will be reactionary, running from what you don't want, and they will be running away from what you don't want, and it will never be able to be running towards who you truly are. It will never be running towards that confident, authentic, attractive, mouth-watering man that you really, really are, that I know this, and you know this too, that you truly are. That version of you exists in this space right now. You will never embody him if you're running from what you don't want. So, okay, how does this look practically? Again, I think a big one is like, especially if you're single, if you're in a relationship, it's going to be a little bit different, but if you're single, are you going on the dating app because you're running from loneliness, neediness, or desperation? Just ask yourself that. If you are, stop. You only open up that dating app when you are in the expansive state of self-worth, confidence. You fucking know who you are. You're in empowerment and you are living as that man. Now, you're going to go in and out of that state. Like, no one's perfect. No one's going to be in that expansive state all the time. That's not even the point of this video or the point of life. Okay? But you only take action when you are in that expansive state. Why? Because like we talked about, when you're in that contractive state, your subconscious is running those pathways. Your subconscious doesn't give a shit, by the way, if it's useful or not useful. Your subconscious doesn't give a shit if you meet your soulmate. Your subconscious doesn't give a shit if like you ever reach this highest version of you. Your subconscious goes, man, here's some patterns that we've been running that's kept you alive. I'll just keep doing that. And it kind of says to the conscious mind, like, you tell me. If there's a pattern, this is what subconscious says. If there's a pattern I need to rewire, you'll let me know by choosing the opposite, and I will then be forced to rewire. Every single time you allow yourself to take action from neediness, I'm adding loneliness to it because it came to me, neediness, loneliness, desperation. When you take action from that state, the subconscious is running those neural pathways. You take action, you're voting for more of that loneliness, neediness, desperation in your life, because that's a feedback loop. And the subconscious goes, okay, well, I guess this human wants to experience more of that. That's how they're living their life. We'll keep repeating those patterns. It sends all these messages up to your reticular activating system, which is like a little antenna that sorts for people, places, things, choices, body language, behaviors, to create more of that. You will literally sort for the women that make you feel like a nice guy, because everything's a mirror, but there's a time lapse. If you give yourself permission to act on neediness because you're lazy or because you like haven't watched this video yet, then your subconscious will hardwire that in more, and it goes, great, let's do it again. But then that's what I was gonna say, there's that time lapse. Okay, so you're gonna have to see in real time in physical manifest 3D world the consequence of that little action that you took, and it could be a split second. So what I'm saying as the practical tool, stop doing that altogether. Pay attention enough to the state that your body is in. If you're feeling one of those three things, don't do anything until you've expanded. Now, I'm going to reference a video of mine that I have 2 different times. The first time I'm going to reference it is right now. How? How do you get out of neediness? How do you get out of loneliness? How do you get out of desperation? Shoving that feeling down further, that's self-hate. We don't want that. Instead, watch this video. I will link it above. I actually haven't even titled it yet because I haven't edited it yet, but it's like the 4 steps to healing negativity or something like that. I will put it here. There's a 4-step process you can use. It will work every time. And what you're doing is you're actually getting closer to the neediness. You're understanding it and you're elevating it. And then once you elevate it, then you can take action. Then it's perfectly acceptable to go on that dating app, to go on that date, to reach out to that person. Don't text that person. Don't do something. I mean, like, this is, maybe this sounds fucked up, but I hope you can take it for how I'm saying it. Don't do something for your partner because you want them to give you something back in return. That's not masculine energy, okay? Masculine energy is a giving force. That's taking, that's manipulation, and it's coming from a place of insecurity. So stop that altogether, watch that video, but let's go on to the next thing because I am going to reference that video again, so it's going to pop up on the screen like in a couple minutes. Number 2, very, very practical step. This one's probably the simplest of all of them. If you're a man, struggle with nice guys stuff, push yourself to lift heavy things every day. I don't care where you do it. Most men like to go to the gym. I don't personally like the gym, but I'm a woman, so I don't know. Lift heavy things every day. Why? Because the act of doing that, the act of being disciplined, the act of doing it every single day or 6 days a week if you want to have that rest day, builds levels of testosterone in your body. Now, a lot of men that struggle with nice guy, and honestly just like a lot of men out there in general, have lower levels of testosterone because they have disembodied from their masculine essence, either because they were raised in an environment where masculinity was unsafe, their father was unsafe, men were unsafe, or just that society influence of overly critical women, overly critical mother, lack of relationship with the father figure, right? So there's lots of different reasons, but how this affects a man biologically is that his testosterone levels, because testosterone is a very masculine biochemical, and it's not at all bad. I think a lot of people are like, there's mixed opinions about, is it good, is it bad, is aggression even good or bad? I mean, aggression in its highest form is the willingness to take action on what you believe in. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when there's trauma roots to it, when there's wounding to it, and then the expression of aggression is negative. The expression of a lot of testosterone in the body can be negative, but inherently it's not negative, it's neutral. And so if you struggle with nice guy syndrome, flat out, lift heavy things every day. Do it consistently, do it even when you don't feel like it, do it even when you're whatever, even if you're like, just if you're not in the mood, do it anyways. And that's super important because not being in the mood is allowing this feeling state to overcome you and guide you, which is very feminine. Okay. Feminine creatures, we allow our feelings to guide us. It's how we are biochemically hardwired. Masculine creatures, on the other hand, it's not that you can't have your feelings, because that's not at all the point of this video, but it's the point to teach yourself that real hardcore discipline of doing that. It will build testosterone over time, and the overcoming of nice guy syndrome will just be like so much easier because you're going to be backed by that biochemical structure in your body. Number 3, this is where we get a little explicit. For a nice guy, typically, he has been metaphorically, somatically meaning mind-body connection, cut off from the neck up. All that means is like he's living in his head. So for a person who is living in their head, why? Why are they living in their head? Well, because there's pain in the lower parts of their body. Maybe not physical pain, oftentimes more so emotional pain. However, it could be physical pain, could be spiritual pain, could be even like felt sense pain in the body. There's pain usually in the heart, but even more so important, there is pain in the genitals. There's pain in the cock. There's pain in the penis. There's pain in the pelvis. Pain meaning emotional discomfort. There's something in this region he doesn't know what to do with. And so therefore, well, what's he left to do? He's left to go up into his head, try to manage the problem through logic. But the managing of the problem through logic is a response to pain. It's reactionary to pain. So what I am suggesting as an immediate thing you can do right now, and we're actually going to do this right now. Imagine that you see a beautiful woman, like somebody that you're just like, wow, like that would be the most amazing woman to be with. I would really want to be with her. That would be so great. Like all of the stuff that you are placing or projecting onto her. And now drop your brain into your body. What do you notice in your body, in particular from your neck down, in particular in your pelvis region? What sensation, what kinesthetic sensation do you notice in your body? Whatever pops up to you first impression, it's usually a constrictive feeling. It's usually not comfortable. It usually feels like something you want to escape or ignore, but really bring your presence there. I'm going to link that video again. For whatever constrictive feeling you felt, use that feeling and drop it into this 4-step process in this video. Because I do have a very explicit 4-step process you can use for any negative feelings. What happens for a nice guy is because he's been disembodied from, usually his cock energy, it renders him not as attractive as he could be to a feminine creature. Feminine creatures actually do want that full expression, embodiment of masculine energy, despite, because I know I get a lot of hate for this, despite what a lot of women say. Okay, a lot of women say, oh, I want my man to be more vulnerable. True, but they don't mean it in that full sense. Or, oh, I want my man to be kind of like more like a woman, essentially. It's not exactly true what they're asking, but a lot of men have internalized that and used it as a means to cut themselves off more and more from this really attractive, really wise, really divine cock energy that is available. Because the masculine, again, it is a giving force. It gives semen to create life. Like, this is divinity. This is divine. This is amazing. If you're cut off from the epicenter, the physical epicenter of your divine wisdom as a man to give energy, and you're cut off from that in your body, your testosterone's going to lower. You're not going to be as attractive. In fact, you're not even going to be fully erect in your purpose in the world. You're not going to feel like the man that you know that you could be. So this last step, while it's a little bit more elusive, that's why I'm linking the video above, is so important to reclaim that part of you. Because when you reclaim that part of you, you're going to be showing up for dates differently. You're going to be showing up for your spouse differently. Like, you're going to be showing up in life differently because you have that somatic wisdom of, I am a giving force of presence. I am a giving force of emotional sovereignty. I'm not running from anything inside of me all the way down to my cock. Like, that's not just hot, it's divine. It's structured the way that it should be, for lack of better words. Once you've done those 3 things, or you feel like you have a good handle on those 3 things, I do have a course. It's only $47. It's called Attraction Mastery. And I have the next step of 50 masculine traits that women are hardwired to sort for. Will be amazing for you when you purchase this. If you are in a relationship, if you're single, if you're dating, if you're in a new relationship, it doesn't matter, because they're universal masculine traits that have been washed away by society, like washed away by like lots of conflict happening between masculine and feminine. And it's the reclamation for you as a man to give yourself permission to embody the wisdom of masculinity that you already know is there. You just need that permission. And when you buy this course, that is your permission. It'll click for you. You'll go through those 50 things and you'll be like, there'll be a part of you where you'll know. You'll be like, wow, that is what I've always needed. That is what I've always wanted. And then that permission allows you to expand more into your masculinity. I center it around attraction and polarity. So it's fun because we talk about sex and we talk about bedroom stuff and we talk about presence and romance and the shit that women talk about behind closed doors, all in that course. It's like the only place where I get real explicit with all of that. It's all in that course. But you got to understand too, and I know you know this, it's not about the women. It's not about impressing the women. It's not about like being what they need. It's about you becoming who you've always been meant to be as a man. Nothing will ever feel more fulfilling than that. So I will link that below. When you purchase that, let me know how you like it, and let me know in the comments how you like this video. And that is all. I love you. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe, and I hope you have a beautiful day.